Xbox headphones.
You want to look cool? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I gotta take the link. There we go. Watch live now. Smart Marks podcast.
You tweeting?
I'm tweeting.
Are we live?
Wow.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Live. You tweet?
Liked.
I am posting this on the Facebook.
Oh, wrong
We
Twitter.
like wrestling. Let's do this.
Okay, ready?
I am ready. Steady.
That one's going first, and then we do this one with the drop.
Welcome to Smart Marks Podcast.
Welcome to the Smart Marks Podcast, your weekly look into all things professional wrestling. No matter if it happens in a square circle, an Aztec temple, or a six-sided ring. Here to lay the smackdown on your ear holes are your hosts, the Smart Marks, Matt Salgado and Jeremy.
All right, Marks. It is Wednesday. Again, Thursday if you're listening to this.
Wednesday.
It's always weird when I say it's Wednesday.
Episode 151.
151.
Welcome
the Smart
to
Marks
the Smart
Podcast.
Marks Podcast.
Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm all right, man.
What is going on? We are broadcasting live on YouTube
Yes, we are.
currently. It's working at the moment. Also, at the same time, CWC is going on, so we may have a viewer drop off. I'm just saying that right now.
Hey, split screen, guys. You can run two
Split
different
screen.
panels. I mean, come on. If you're watching on your phones,
Everybody
just get to a computer.
Everybody has two TVs.
You got an Xbox.
Just do it.
I mean, there's a million ways to do
Just
do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
So currently, right now in the CWC, we've got DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa taking on Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar in a tag team match. The what was it? Quarterfinal, semifinal round. Semifinal round just
Quarterfinal,
concluded. We ended up with, two huge shockers. We ended up with Grand Metalik defeating Zack Sabre Jr. to advance to the finals.
Amazing.
And TJ Perkins defeating Kota Ibushi. I said Hideo Itami. That's racist.
What a crazy... Actually, I think you need to leave that on the screen.
Am I?
Yeah,
Am
I
I?
think so. That's the only bad thing about having it on PlayStation, which I don't mind at all.
I'm going to hide it.
Yeah. But, yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, great match. Amazing
Yeah,
finish.
I applaud WWE for having the balls to put two guys that aren't quite as well known over. I mean, we all kind of expected our finals to be Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, they were both handpicked from the beginning to win everything, and
I think we picked them as our two favorites. I think I picked Sabre Jr. to win it all. And
before
the
brackets were
majority-
even made.
Yeah, the majority of people. Yeah, I mean, they said Ibushi was odds-on favorite to win as soon as they announced him. They did the official
and he was the
production
first
weigh-ins.
name announced. And look where we are now.
Yeah.
Neither one of them.
Neither one of them in the finals. That's
love it.
pretty awesome on WWE's part as far as whoever's booking these matches kind of be like, let's go out of the park. And the crowd right now is insane. It's intense. And
Yeah,
it's
this
great
is such
crowd.
a good crowd. I mean, as
And,
opposed to the NXT crowd that
Shout
had
out
just
to
before this.
shout out to Dan Vogler.
Yes,
all
sir.
the way out there. That is intense. I can't believe he's actually out there
Yep.
right now for the
In
finals.
Florida at the CWC
So that
finals
is
right
awesome that we have a we're 1 degree of separation away from there.
now. Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
But we
Amazing
just
about it.
weren't there.
Yeah, it's amazing that he got tickets.
I know, right?
I mean, yeah. So some good wrestling happened. We got some good wrestling going on right now.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
feel like we had some pretty good wrestling in the past week. Gone down.
It was pretty weird when NXT was the most boring show of the week.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's not taken away from it. I mean, it was okay.
It's just there was a lot to watch.
Yeah, there really was.
And there's those moments where we run into a lot of oh man, there's so much to watch. What do we watch? And it's a good problem to have too, because it's just each week is there's a different bar, a different standard, and it's just what do we like this week? As opposed to next week. Next week we probably will like NXT more.
Yeah, exactly.
And this week we liked, Lucha Underground and and TNA
And Impact.
and,
Yeah.
yeah. And
You want to open the show with
Backlash.
Impact? Let's start
go
with Impact,
man. We'll go with Impact and we'll go into Lucha Underground. So Delete or Decay, man.
You want to lead off with Delete or
let's
Decay?
just go right to Delete or Decay because really that's the whole show for me.
You didn't like the
And-
first
no,
round
I
of
liked,
the tournament?
I actually dug the first round of the tournament.
Wasn't bad.
For the what's it called?
Grand Championship.
Grand Championship. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I dig
TNA
it. I
Grand
like the
Championship.
idea of the like. I thought it'd be kind of dumb with the round system,
Right.
but I actually, I mean, it got built in as far as like, rest spots. It's like there's your rest spot right there. It's like that 1 minute break.
Yeah, instead of getting headlocks for rest spots, we just got them
And
sitting
it flew
down.
by. Like the matches didn't drag on. They were good.
No, they went really quick.
Stayed within one segment. I felt like,
And Drew Galloway.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I don't know that I could say anything else other than Drew Galloway.
Drew Galloway. No, it was good. We also had another round one match with Eli Drake and Jesse Goddard. So that was good.
Dummy.
Dummy. Eli Drake, he got his ass handed to him the
Yeah,
whole
he
match,
did.
but then actually
Pulled it off in
pulls
the
it
end.
up at the very end.
That was a good match.
So that
Great
was cool that they
storytelling.
kind of did two different like variations of that, where one match was very even as far as Galloway and Braxton Sutter. Or no, who was it? Galloway
Yeah,
and Braxton,
and Braxton
Sutter.
Sutter.
I felt it was like, just like lose for Braxton, man.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
What are we doing with the guy we just brought in?
Nothing.
Like we don't know what to do with
Nothing.
them. It's the same thing like with Aiden O'Shea. Who's
Yeah,
Aiden
right.
O'Shea? Exactly. We bring in Pepper Parks. He's a big indie guy, and it's just changed his name to something that doesn't even remotely sound familiar to him. Same with Allie. Like you're doing the same thing with Allie that you're doing with Pepper Parks.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Kind of
cherry
letting
bomb.
it,
Come on, man.
kind of letting us down. So fix that situation before it gets any worse. We also before Delete or Decay, we had like the Hardy training
Yes.
montage at
How
the zoo.
amazing was that?
Yeah,
At the zoo, and all the animals at the zoo were
Named
installed.
after.
No, they weren't named after. You didn't catch that? In the
Oh.
Jericho podcast, remember he had talked about how their spirits were installed in other bodies? So those weren't named after people. Like, those were legitimately their spirits installed into those
I
animals.
dig it. I can dig that.
So the giraffe was George Washington.
Okay.
Joe Frazier was the kangaroo, and he had a
Okay.
sparring match. But then he had mentioned it when he got to the monkeys. He said that nothing had been installed in them, but he went as far as to name the monkeys because they were spot monkeys. So he named them DJZ, and I can't remember who else.
All
But-
the X Division guys.
and then the Bucks of Youth. He's on these two right here on Nick and Matt, the Bucks of Youth.
The Bucks of Youth.
So there was a Young Bucks reference.
How about even this
Spot monkeys.
This didn't happen on TNA, but the picture of him on WWE headquarters,
Yeah, I saw that.
the Meek Man.
Yeah, and he was just in front of the headquarters
Yeah.
with that face.
yelling at it. Like I said, I mean, kudos to Matt Hardy and everything that he's doing.
And the video of
highly enjoying everything that's going on with that.
The
that
clip of
storyline.
Decay hijacking the Ford
Oh yeah,
to make
just
it there.
leaving the dude dead
with his pants down.
What did Rosemary do?
Yeah, right. I would say Abyss.
I think it was worth it.
And Joseph Parks, the return of Joseph Parks.
I dug it.
I was like, what the
Every
hell?
single little.
He's
bit
like,
of
have you
it.
seen my brother?
And then Senior Benjamin just tases him.
Yeah, he doesn't even ask him a question.
No, just doesn't even mess around.
Not
just
even a
tased.
okay?
That's the kind of man that I would want to have working with me. Like, no questions asked.
Just
tased.
take somebody and
Just
dig.
tased.
Like, no questions asked. Just go dig me 3 graves.
Yes.
No, I mean, no question.
I love it.
Whether it's illegal or not. Just yes, Senor Hardy.
Yeah. Just do it. I'm paying you. Just
Who won
do
that
it.
match? I missed it. Was it? It was Gargano and Ciampa,
Gargano
right?
and Ciampa
Yeah.
won that match. It's pretty good. Yeah, so I mean, overall, was it as good as the original Deletion in your opinion?
I think it was on par with it.
Yeah.
I believe the story. I mean, the story's obviously not over because they kidnapped Senor Benjamin.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good because there wasn't a match.
Rest in peace, Vanguard won. We
Yep.
lost a valuable drone
Yep.
this past week. A very valuable partner in the Hardy.
They were firing rockets.
Yeah,
How amazing!
firing rockets, firing
Oh,
missiles.
that's so good.
I just love Vanguard 1. I mean, it just begs, the question, like, or it just brings it up to, like, when's Vanguard 2 coming?
Exactly.
So, how funny would it be if
Vanguard
Vanguard
1.
2 shows up and he's like, goes rogue?
And just takes out Matt or something.
Matt, yeah.
That would be so good.
But, no, I
Jeff
love...
sacrificed himself.
I actually have to say I like this one more. And I'm not putting down the first one. The first one was really good, and I like the second one because we're on, like, we know what to expect.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like...
Did you like the fact
to
they
me,
stayed
that
away
it-
from a ring?
Yes.
That it was more just a fight?
I like that it, yeah, I more so like that. I like the idea of just fighting in the field.
We're not promoting
And,
Sonic.
And, I dug it. I dug it a lot. I highly enjoyed it. I had a smile on my face the whole time watching it.
Yeah, so did I. I enjoyed every bit of it.
I laughed to myself because it's supposed to be ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean, we're not supposed to take it seriously. We're supposed to. It's made to have fun.
How terrible did it look when Jeff shoved Matt out of the way to take
the bat?
Yeah, what was the name of the bat? I can't remember her name.
Janice.
Janice, that's right. When he took Janice to the stomach. That was such a terrible cut, but it was great.
Yeah. I feel like, and maybe, I don't think Kirkman will ever admit to it, the creator of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But I feel like he took some inspiration for Lucille, maybe from watching TNA wrestling, from Abyss.
Yeah, right.
That thing's been there forever.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, come on. If you guys don't know what that is, whatever.
Nerds.
But no, I had a lot of fun. I sat there, I laughed, to myself.
It was great.
My wife kept asking me what I was watching. I was like, you have to watch this.
I kept telling my wife the same thing. She's like, nope, I'm not going to watch it.
Like,
she watched the first one.
What's going
she
on
flat out refused to watch the next one.
And I told her, I was like, this is very much in the same vein as like, like the Sharknadoes, those type of movies, you know, like where we don't take it seriously, but they're made to have fun, and that's what it was made for. It's made to have fun and to enjoy what you're watching, and to be like reminded that like, hey, this isn't, this is supposed to be fun.
Is it just me, or does Mauro Ronaldo look like a middle school principal?
Yeah, he does, and he looks a little bit more in love with
assistant principal.
He looks like that guy that's in that movie about the middle school principal.
Right?
It's like,
I
and that
can't
guy
remember
does
his name.
all those like.
I know what you're talking about.
He does a lot of commercials now.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
I thought it was like a Ned.
He was in Eastbound and Down. He played the principal.
I thought it was like a Ned Unclassified or whatever one of those books are called. But no, Mauro Ronaldo, like you definitely tell like how much he loves. If you ever watch,
oh my god, there was
watch the CWC on mute and just look at the way he looks at Daniel Bryan. Yeah,
he loves him.
He loves him.
At one point there was a kick out during the CWC, and Mauro Ronaldo referred to it as Siamese twin close. Amazing.
I'm just nodding my head in approval for
those
who
are watching. I love everything he says, man. I love watching SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh no, SmackDown's great. I thoroughly enjoy SmackDown. I thought SmackDown was a much better show this week. We'll get into that later.
So let's talk. So that happened Thursday. I actually did not get to watch Lucha. Did you?
What? You didn't watch Lucha Underground?
I tried to watch it today, but the source I normally have for Lucha.
After a week, it's pulled, man.
Yeah, it was
I'll just
deleted.
let you know that right now.
Delete.
After a week, you
delete.
If you ever waiting till Tuesday to watch TNA, like you're gonna have a hard time to watch it.
I'm legit about to just change my
sources are usually pulled.
I'm about to just change my dish package because I'm cheap.
You should just. I like your package the way it is.
Oh, but wouldn't you like my package if it was bigger?
I think you.
This is like a New Day segment.
It's not about the size of the package.
It's
what
about
you can do with
the quality
that
of the package, though. And
I
don't have a quality package if I'm not getting Lucha in El Rey.
I'll ask your wife about the quality of your package.
This is a New Day segment, right? It totally feels like it.
So we had Matanza. We had this news segment on Lucha Underground, and I hope you get to watch it. Dario gets to come back. He gets freed at the beginning, and somebody posts his bail, and it's like his boss. So Dario's working for somebody.
And we kind of got the gist of that last time.
And they're pissed that he's like, he pretty much kind of dropped the ball, went to jail, whatnot. So
do we know who it is?
No, not yet. It's leaving it up.
Because remember they had that
in the dark.
They had that scene last year or last season where he was in the bar and they're like, "There's a mole. There's somebody in your establishment." So, oh no, not in the temple.
Not in the temple. Really good. Dario comes out first thing off the bat. He introduces the Dario's Dial of Destruction. So it's a wheel that he spins, and it's whoever it lands on has to face Matanza. So first person up is Son of Havoc.
I knew Son of Havoc had a match against Matanza.
Yeah, so it was really good way to kick off the show. They made a Gets of the Gods title match between Taya and Sexy Star. Sexy Star retains.
Yep.
Or I think she retains.
Yeah, because she won it.
She won it last year. And our main event last week, which was great, and you think about it like, holy crap, like these two guys faced each other. Rey Mysterio versus Pentagon Dark. To kick off the first week of Lucha Underground.
Holy crap, and I missed that.
Good stuff. Yeah, so you should watch Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah, no, it's happening.
Yeah,
and I was pretty pissed off that I didn't get to see it today.
Before we go into Backlash and Raw and SmackDown, there was an event that took place Saturday.
Yeah, and I was gonna bring that up because you're wearing the shirt.
I want to go in the sequence of events.
I tried to have the shirt on.
I want to go into the sequence of events,
and it didn't work out.
Things kind of took place. UFC 203.
Yep.
You got to watch it live.
I did.
I was in the midst. If you guys have forgotten by now, baby coming in 2.5 weeks. I am like legit just like throwing everything together, get this nursery ready. I was super exhausted, and I actually watched it through Periscope.
Yo, did you? Well, that would work. It
It
probably
was
would have fit on an
hilarious.
Instagram.
It was hilarious. No, it wouldn't fit on Instagram. Let's be honest here. So UFC 203 happened. CM Punk versus Mickey Gall, which
Yep.
we both picked CM Punk to win. Stood by
Out of
Punk,
our hearts.
out of hearts, and I want to.
I still stand by Punk.
I still stand by my choice. It wasn't a horrible pick. It wasn't like I picked Jose Aldo in the McGregor fight, and then he lost in 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. So obviously, you guys, unless you live under a rock,
Yeah.
CM Punk lost.
Punk came in ready to stand up and trade blows with Mickey Gall. And Mickey Gall was smart. He waited to get within CM Punk's arm reach and then shot on him. He didn't telegraph it one bit. I didn't even see that coming. I don't think anybody did. He took Punk down. He worked Punk over, beat the hell out of him.
Well, Punk raised his arms way too high
Yeah.
to start that fight.
Yeah, he did.
And I don't know, like, for me, someone who watches MMA not religiously, like, even I know that was pretty much like a bad stance.
Absolutely.
Like, to go into it, like, I don't know about how
He had no way to sprawl, no way to
I
block.
think you
no
want to
nothing.
stay low to the ground, especially if you're going up against someone like Mickey Gall, who I understood he has more fights under his belt. He's shown that he's an all-around MMA guy. I'm pretty sure he has really good ground technique, which he displayed. Whether or not it's really good compared to other fighters,
Right.
time will tell with Mickey Gall.
Well, here's the thing, mainly. It's exactly as Joe Rogan said. You end up with Mickey Gall, who is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, versus CM Punk, who is a white belt in jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu, there you go.
And, I mean, Mickey Gall outclassed him. And we saw that.
Mickey Gall was a better fighter going into that fight, and he showed that.
And, I mean, kudos to Mickey Gall. He got his name out there now. But what got me is CM Punk stayed classy in defeat. Mickey Gall stayed classy in winning. He straight up told everybody, this guy came out here, F the haters, do not diss on him. He lived this. He took brass balls to stand in there and do that.
Yeah.
And it does. I mean, it takes huge balls to step into an arena that you've never been in before on the stage that you did and show up and take an ass beating like that.
Yeah.
And
last 2.5 minutes.
to everybody who's laughing at CM Punk for getting his ass beat or shit talking, let's look at the fact that CM Punk went in there and got the shit kicked out of him and tapped out and made $500,000.
You know who's laughing now?
CM Punk.
All the way to the bank.
$500,000 and a $2,500 endorsement from Reebok for that fight. And
Yeah.
Mickey Gall made $15,000 for the fight and $15,000 for the tap out.
Oh, so you got submission of the night.
Yep. So he got $30,000 versus $500,000. So tell me who the real winner was.
Well, Punk put Gall over really nicely that
He
night.
did, right? And I saw a lot of sites saying stuff like that. But really, CM Punk, I mean, he stood up and they asked him afterwards, he said, I'm not over. I want to do it again. I obviously didn't want to lose, and it happened. So I want to do something else about that.
I don't think anybody ever wants to lose when you think about it. Like, oh, yeah, I went into this fight.
Just to lose.
I wanted to lose.
I'd go in a fight to lose for $500,000.
$500,000, I let somebody punch my face in.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like this year that much, so you guys can punch it.
But he was asked afterwards by somebody at the press conference. They said, what did your wife say to you when it was done? And CM Punk's already in tears almost. His eyes are red. He's holding back tears. And they asked him, they said, what did your wife say to you? Because I know she didn't want you to do this. And he just looked at him and he goes, you guys are fucking bastards. Word for word.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking bastards. He said, you really want me to cry, don't you?
Oh, man.
And then he just got real choked up and said, she said she was proud of me. And I'm proud of myself. I was like, you know what? Like, CM Punk is always, he may be a dickhead. He may have an ego. But he has always been the guy that has said, if you don't like me, fuck off. You don't have to like me.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm here to do what I'm going to do. And if you like it, great. If you don't, great. He's always been at least inspiring in that, not to cater to what people think or what people say about you and to blaze your own path. And he did that. Now, that being said, Dana White was asked after the match about CM Punk's future, and he said, you know what? CM Punk's next couple fights should probably not be in the UFC.
Yeah.
It was an experiment.
Kind of a dick move.
It happened.
I mean,
but it's true, though. They
well,
probably should.
First of all,
he's probably get a couple wins under his belt.
His first fight shouldn't have happened in the UFC.
It shouldn't have.
About it. But at the same time, too, Dana's the one that asked him.
Yep.
Hey, have you ever thought about doing this UFC thing? Dana approached him, asked him to do it. CM Punk didn't go knocking down on the door and say, let me fight, let me fight. Especially when it's $500,000.
Absolutely. Would you sell him? No.
Hell no. Of course I would say yes.
You offer me $30,000 and I
You can
tell
ask
him yes.
anybody in the WWE, hey, would you fight for $500,000? They're gonna say yes.
Yep, in a heartbeat.
No one's gonna say no to a fight like that. Of course, CM Punk's gonna fight, and of course, UFC is gonna do what they can to bring him in, because $500,000 to bring him in to pay him to fight one fight,
basically triple their pay-per-view buys.
Exactly.
And I'll be honest,
the CM Punk name alone brought in a lot more buys than whoever else would have bought UFC 203, because it was such. Other than the CM Punk fight, I could not tell you another fight on that card.
And that's what I was gonna say. Is granted, Stipe Miocic.
I have no idea who that is.
Really?
No.
I follow UFC a lot, though. But Stipe Miocic going into that and defending his title against Alistair Overeem was probably the best fight of the night.
Yeah.
But on paper, I would not have bought that pay-per-view without CM Punk.
No, people bought that pay-per-view because it was CM Punk.
I bought that pay-per-view because of CM Punk. I did.
And you know what? And there was a lot of people, too, that do watch UFC that probably wouldn't have ordered that fight, but ordered that fight or ordered that show to watch CM Punk get his ass beat. Because they wanted to see CM Punk get beat. And then the wrestling fans ordered it because they wanted to see CM Punk win.
Exactly.
And thank God the WWE Network's only $9.99. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be able to afford that and another pay-per-view.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
But no, I mean, overall, I was happy for CM Punk. I thought he did a good job.
Yep.
You know, like, yeah, he got his ass beat, but one, he did not tap out 10 seconds of the match. He got out of some holds. He scrambled on the ground, which I thought was good.
In that rear naked for a while.
Yeah. He fought in and out of that hold, and it wasn't until he got in that full clinch, I feel like that was the end. Once he gave up the back, it was done. You know, and Mickey Gall was all over his back and put him, tried to put him to sleep. Didn't happen. Punk tapped out. And credit to Punk, man. You give the double his due. And I'm glad that he did it. I'm glad that he's happy. You know, like I said, before the podcast, I said, we wish nothing but positive things. We hope people succeed in the positive things that they do, except for Mickey Gall.
Except for Mickey Gall.
Because we want CM Punk to win. But no, in all, like, it was I felt like it was a good fight. Was it worth the $60 that some people paid for? Maybe. But,
I paid that.
Yeah. You feel like you got your money's worth?
I did.
Yeah. See, there you go.
I'm okay with it. The fight of the night was great. I mean, I don't have any gripes about any of that.
That's good. So that was UFC 203. How do you feel about do you think Punk will do another MMA fight?
I think he should.
Yeah. Because either way, like, so if he does another MMA fight, and it's not in UFC, there's only a few other places he can go to. There's Bellator. And what's another one?
That's it.
You're talking to the mic.
That's it. That's all I can remember, because there was Strikeforce, but now that was
absorbed and bought out. And I feel like there's one more, but I do not know the other name of it. So if you guys know the name of any other MMA, backyard MMA, I don't know.
Backyard MMA. I mean, he could do somewhere. There's other companies.
Yeah.
He could do something. K1 or something. I mean.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Either way, moving on. Backlash Sunday. Good show. I liked it. Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin on the pre-show. I dug it. And right now, Triple H is introducing the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. And looks like this guy, whoever wins this one here, is going to be representing it on Raw.
That's what I was doing, guys. I was plugging in my earphones.
So before the show, Alex asked the question, who would we pick to be WWE Cruiserweight Champion?
Out of the 4 that are there, we're down to 2. We're down to TJ Perkins and Grand Metalik.
I feel like
my money is on TJ Perkins.
I think it'd be great to see, I'm going to go with TJ Perkins. But, I think either guy can get this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like this belt. Not too shabby.
That belt is pretty good. It's kind of got a purple back.
Yeah, I dig it.
There's a Thank You Hunter chant going on.
Thank you,
almost got like an octagon design to it.
Yeah.
Or a pentagon. It's pretty cool.
I like it. I like
man.
that it's not a...
You guys, if you're not watching this right now, I
like that it's
I'm not going to tell you to turn us off.
I like that it's not a miniature version of the WWE title.
Exactly. It has its own style and everything to it.
I wonder if that was planned. I wonder if they knew Trips was going to go out there and introduce that title.
I don't know if these two guys
Because I had my theory about Kevin Owens, about him winning the title. Come to find out that wasn't true.
Yeah. I don't know. I read that was.
We all believed it was. Kevin Owens himself said that wasn't true. He knew it 2 hours before the show started.
I wished it was.
But he
Kinda
said,
wished it
but he
was.
goes, I'm glad that my performance was so convincing that people bought the idea that
Yeah.
like, hey, you know, this is it. This is, you know, like he said that he loved everybody's like stories that they were coming up with. But like, you know, like even I think it was like PW Insider Torch had like some like
Meltzer.
seriously like Meltzer had some like in-depth story of like how, you know, Trips didn't let Kevin know and Seth and Roman were in on it, and they were like, yeah, we're doing this, and yeah. So, but Kevin Owens himself said that story was completely untrue, that he was completely aware, and he was glad that everybody thought that he was legit shocked, like that. It kind of blurred those lines, like his performance.
Yeah, I mean, it really did.
Yeah.
Both of us were sold 100%.
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
I completely thought, you know, that was the deal. Becky Lynch becomes SmackDown's first women's champion.
Dig it. I'm happy. I picked Becky.
Yeah, I picked the
Natty.
I picked Natty to win.
Yep.
Not disappointed. A really
Neither
good
am I.
match. I'm happy that Becky Lynch is champion. So now 3 out of the 4 horsewomen have all held WWE women championships.
Yep. Absolutely.
And to think about it now, she was the last one to actually hold any sort of title in WWE. So they've all won titles now.
Yep. Exactly.
Going into it. So that's pretty cool. Like the future of WWE is in that women's division.
Yep.
I feel like we ask ourselves a lot as far as who's going to lead WWE as far as the era, and I really believe more so now it's going to be the women, kind of like pushing that, especially when you have talent like Becky Lynch, like Charlotte, like Sasha Banks, and now Bayley on the main roster, where Bayley's going to be, you know, she's going to, like, her popularity is going to keep getting bigger and bigger, especially what, you know, that young girls, I can't think of the word I'm thinking of, age division.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Just demographic.
There you go.
That young
Age
demographic,
division.
age division.
Hey, no, it was pretty. Yeah.
I feel like she's going to, like, get a lot of fans through that.
I think
she's
she is
gonna
too.
be the,
I liked her plates, man.
She's
I
going to
thought
be
those
the
were cool.
female. She's going to be the female Cena.
Both the SmackDown plates are probably the best side plates right now, I think. Becky Lynch's plates are really cool, and AJ's
Styles.
plates, man.
Yeah, jumping
I
ahead
love
on
that
that.
baby blue backing to those plates.
That looks cool. Usos defeat the Hype Brothers in the first match. The Miz defeats Dolph Ziggler to retain the IC title. Some help from Maurice. We all
Heel
saw that.
fashion. I mean, I dig it.
Bray Wyatt defeats Randy Orton by forfeit because he attacked him earlier in the show. And
Hurt his
reports
ankle.
were that Randy Orton still wasn't cleared
After the attack
after
from Lesnar.
so
Or match with Lesnar.
so concussion,
I guess so, yeah.
right? Like, how would you not
Had
be
to have
cleared?
been. Had to have been. Unless it was that bad.
Yeah,
He was probably had some concussion symptoms leading into it.
yeah.
Dizziness or something like that.
So, like, yeah, exactly. Why else would he not be cleared to wrestle unless
Had
it's
to be
concussion? I
concussion.
feel like they're willing to clear people with knee injuries, with ankle injuries, things like that. But
Had to be
anything
concussion.
on the head, they'll be like, no, you can't do it. We're not letting you do it.
Especially with everything that happened with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. So King comes out, beats Bray Wyatt with a little bit of help from Randy Orton with an RKO. Okay.
I mean, I liked it. He's obviously not cleared for a full match, but he was cleared for contact.
He can drop a move. I don't know how I feel
That match
about.
was good though. Like
It was good.
It was a no holds
surprisingly
barred.
good. Kane versus Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
that senton through the table was amazing.
Big
I
boy
love
sit
that.
down. Yeah. That match was that. I don't know how I like Bray Wyatt losing an impromptu match.
Yeah, that was kind of
I
I get the interference is why he lost.
yeah the interference happened.
But what are you doing with Bray? Like I get that you wanted to further the story with him and Randy by having Randy come out there and cost him the match. It furthers that. But I felt like there was probably a better way to do that because they have constantly for this past year been killing the stock of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, you know things are bad when Bo Dallas has a better push than that Bray Wyatt.
Right?
What's going on there?
But he's rhyming.
Yeah. Heath Slater and Rhino defeated the Usos to become the first SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I did not see that coming.
Neither did I, man.
I
feel like
not upset. I
I'm
know
not
some
upset
people
either.
maybe are, but
I like that they won, but I really feel like we kind of
gypped the Usos.
we made them. They went 2 steps forward, and then we took them 3 steps
2
back.
steps forward, 1 step back.
Whatever it was. You gonna start singing Paula Abdul?
I want the cat to appear.
Because I'm dressed like a cat. Peter Griffin would sing it. But no, like they went forward, and I mean, we didn't really kill their push as a heel team, but we dialed them back a little bit. Because like I said last week, I mean, you could have really pushed them over the top as a heel tag team by having them win in heel fashion. Like, when the ref's not looking or something, hit him with a pipe, hit him with a chair, something crazy, and screw over Heath Slater out of his contract.
Yeah, I like
that would have just been, I mean, just raw heat on them.
I like the new look by the Usos. I
do too. Remove the...
They dropped the face paint.
Yep.
They're just wearing jeans. They stopped doing the hot cut.
Yep.
I dig it. I
like it too.
I like it. It's like...
Smart.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's really smart. Because everything else was pandering to tag teams.
You can't keep doing that gimmick, especially even the face painting.
Yeah, I thought they would at least go to like all black face paint.
No,
we called it a while back.
Yeah.
They went to black face paint. We're like, okay, here it is.
Yeah.
And then they didn't do it.
Yeah. No, I like the fact that they dropped that all together and just going out and kicking ass. And I guess they're
liking them as heels, man.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. It's a good way to spark them back up in the tag team division.
Absolutely.
Because they did get a little stale in, a division that's hurting a lot for teams.
Yeah.
And so we need to like differentiate the teams that we have. So I like what they're doing with
the
Usos. And they make a heel Usos work, and that's awesome. Hell of a month for AJ Styles, man.
Right? I love the finish.
Yeah.
I mean, that match. So that match went on at 10 after 8.
Mm-hmm.
Our time.
And you call, you're like, hey, I think we're getting a short show.
And then they drug that match on. The only problem I had with that match is there was a lot of sauntering to the other guy, trying to fill time and rest spots. But it was a good match. Towards the end, it picked up. I
really didn't feel... Because I watched that match on... Like, I had to switch over and I watched it on my iPad. And usually that's when you can kind of feel like a show's dragging on too much, is when you're watching something, holding it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're holding your phone, watching something, you're like, oh, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I did not feel tired watching that match.
I
felt like that match... I didn't have the issue with it dragging. Maybe for some people, but...
About halfway through, I lost some momentum in it.
I dug it. I think what got me into it was having my headphones in, hearing the crowd.
Yeah.
And that crowd was into that match.
Yeah,
they were just as part of that match as Dean and
all that fighting on the outside was so amazing.
Good. And I dug the crowd. I dug what they were doing. I dug what AJ and Dean were putting on in the ring, what they left in the ring. I liked the finish, heel finish. And man, I can't believe
it went along with the story because they had both been kicking each other in the balls.
Yeah. And AJ gets a last laugh on that.
I thought that was good.
You know what I mean? And he was like, "You want to play dirty? I'm the bad guy, so we'll play dirty."
Wins as a heel.
Wins as a heel. AJ Styles, WWE World Champ.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I wanted it to happen, and part of me was like, "Holy crap! This is happening."
Yep.
This
pretty
is
damn
happening.
cool.
AJ Styles World Champ.
He is now the champ that runs the camp.
Kevin Owens. I know. Kevin Owens Universal Champ. Kevin Owens, longest reigning Universal Champion.
Like, the only one,
it's cool.
The only company right now that is falling short with a champion is TNA.
TNA with Bobby Lashley as their champ.
We've got on SmackDown, we have AJ. On Raw, we have Kevin Owens. On NXT, we have Shinsuke Nakamura. Ring of Honor, we have Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And we've got Bobby Lashley. Like, you put that belt on EC3, and we've got, our wet dream.
Yeah. I think
just give Ryder a belt, and we're good.
Yeah, he used to have one.
Even if it's his internet belt, I don't care at this point.
I think there's even more talent there at TNA to where anybody but Bobby Lashley could hold that title.
I know.
I think I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with Matt Hardy with all that's going going on right now with him holding the title.
Wouldn't make such a great champ right now.
It would be even more absurd and crazy just with him holding the title. And I feel like...
Him and Jeff have got to get tag titles, right?
Yeah.
That's where this
is
going,
where this
right?
is going. Yeah, this is going to lead to a match inside the ring. And Metallic just ate shit. Good lord.
Yeah, he did. Perkins got out. Look at all the fans grabbing their face after that. Oh my god. Perkins stepped out of the way a little too soon.
Off, I just realized that Raw and SmackDown both kicked off in similar fashions here. But Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks versus Bayley, the crown, the number one contender for the championship match at Clash of Champions.
Super let down by that.
Not as good as I thought it would be.
The idea I thought was great. The second that Dana Brooke smacked Charlotte, I said, done! We're finally pulling the trigger, and we're going to get some sort of feud between her and Charlotte. And this is awesome. He adds her into the triple threat. That match did not end the way I thought. As soon as it happened, I told my wife, I said, this is perfect. You put Dana Brooke in this match, you have her take the pinfall, so that way you don't make either Sasha or Bayley look weak.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then Bayley takes the pin to Sasha. I'm like, that, okay? All right, let's go forward. And then we end up in the backstage in a segment.
I thought still we were going to have an issue as far as... Because Sasha's shoulders were down on the
Yeah,
thing.
I wondered about that
I
too.
honestly thought, I was like, oh, okay, both shoulders are down.
Triple threat.
Triple threat.
Thought so too. Nope.
And no, it's just a botch on their part.
And then we cut to the backstage, and there's Dana Brooke, and now she's apologizing and carrying the bags again. Like, we made a huge stride in the ring by having her smack her and separate her, and now we go right back to the same boring storyline.
2 steps forward.
3 steps back.
3 steps back.
Is the name of this going to be Paula Abdul, or what was even the name of that song?
2 steps forward. I don't know. Bo Dallas defeated the jobber Brendan Scott.
You actually have the jobber's name?
Yeah, Brendan Scott.
I'm proud of you.
We had the highlight reel with Sami Zayn. This leads to an altercation and an argument because Chris Jericho's Kevin
Former
Owens'
best friend versus current best friend.
Yeah, so former best friend versus new best friend, and Jericho versus Sami Zayn, made for Clash of Champions. I'm looking forward to this
Opposites
match.
Attract.
Yeah,
That's the name of the song.
That's the name of the episode. Usually it's a hangover. It's gonna be Opposites Attract this week. We had a best of 7 match between Cesaro and Sheamus. It's now 3-2. Cesaro picking up a win.
Awesome.
Nia Jax and Alicia Fox in the double count out. I like the spear through the barricade.
I love I don't know if we even brought it up last week where Alicia Fox went batshit and hit her in the face of the box.
I love Alicia Fox.
I love her as the Crazy Fox. Yeah,
Crazy Foxy is my favorite Foxy, and I like what Alicia Fox is doing. So.
I love the replay of it. They just replay that over and over, and just the second that she hits her with the box, and she puts her hands up
She's like,
to try to apologize, and then she catches herself. And I think
and
Nia Jax put a little more effort in that show.
Oh yeah,
after that.
No, that was good though. No.
She put her up against the wall and the table hard.
No, that was good. Like,
I love it.
It's like, oh, you did that to me. I'm gonna do this to you, but no hard feelings. It's like,
She got a receipt.
Yeah. That's exactly what you get.
Yeah.
It's called a receipt in the business. So that's what she got. She got her receipt, and funny. It was very funny. The Club beats the New Day.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of weird, but I don't know why we have a match.
Before a match. I hate that they do this. I've always hated they do this.
Like, what?
Like, I'm okay with some sort of
I'm fine with
variation.
Singles. Why not just do singles?
Singles, or bring in a third person and do 3-on-3,
Yeah.
like something like that, but not a straight up tag match.
I didn't like it.
And then so
granted, it puts the Club back on top, a little bit more momentum going in their pocket.
Right.
It lets them reestablish them as that top heel team on Raw.
I would have rather had an attack, have New Day in a match with someone else, and have the Club attack
exactly.
them or something.
Have them going against the
New
Rising
Day-
Star, like have them fight the Rising Stars, and
who are apparently selling timeshares now.
yeah,
I hate that.
to everybody backstage.
So when the New Day
beating
came
Enzo.
out, Big E comes out without any shoes on or boots on, and
The intro
he had
is hilarious.
Bootios in his boots, pouring them into bowls.
People were eating them.
That was great.
Eating.
And then I love Kofi Kingston talking about the Ravens, and Big E just looks at him and goes, "Really, Kofi? We're gonna pander? That's what we do now?" Like, I thought that was so good.
They're smart. They're smart. They're smart.
G-Pops, that's what we do now?
Yeah. Jinder Mahal beats Jack Swagger.
I was so rolling my eyes when Jack Swagger came out for this. Like, I was excited to see Jack Swagger, but I was like, really, the day after 9/11, we're going to have Jack Swagger come out and go against somebody foreign. Like,
Yeah, honestly,
it's too on the nose. It's too easy.
some people, I didn't even think about that in that way, but I'm glad he lost.
Yeah, because he ended up on SmackDown.
Yeah, Epico defeated Enzo. Don't know why.
Yeah, that
and
was terrible.
Kevin Owens defeated Roman Reigns.
I loved Enzo pissed off backstage. Like, everything that was happening after they had their little altercation.
Enzo everything.
Enzo just loses his shit. He's like, you know what? I don't know what he said in Spanish. I'm going to get Rosetta Stone right now. I'm through with this. He's just so mad. But yeah, the main event was a great main event.
Oh no, the main
I loved
event.
Rollins trying to ruin it.
The main event saved the show, and Rusev coming out beating down Roman Reigns saved the show. I'm not saying that, like, beating up Roman Reigns is my favorite part of Raw, but I think beating up Roman Reigns is my favorite part of Raw.
Yeah. But I love that.
Joking around.
Him
No,
and
it was a good
Rusev
finish.
is a feud
Good
that did
finish.
not need to end, and we're getting that furthered. We did not need
Well-
Roman Reigns interjected into this heavyweight picture.
Here's the thing, though. It didn't end. It just stopped abruptly.
Yeah, because
There was no true
Rusev
finish
went
for
on
that.
his
So
honeymoon.
Rusev goes on his injury / honeymoon, and so let's bring him back, and rightfully so, bring him back because
Again, we were all excited to see Roman in the
US
title picture. Yeah.
keeping him on the main title. Not that I personally don't have a problem with Roman in the title picture because it could go anywhere right now, that Universal title, and I'd be okay with it.
I paused because I had said we were all excited, and there's only two of us, so I guess we were both excited.
Technically, you're
I
correct.
either
You're correct.
sounded like I was from New Mexico saying we're all excited, eh? Or
Canadian?
I should have said
that was more Canadian.
Excited. It was.
AJ Styles, John Cena, Dean Ambrose all kicked off SmackDown, and I love John Cena's promo. Coming out and kind of dogging on
Ambrose. That was so good.
dogging on Styles, and then Ambrose coming out, and then Cena kind of just flipping it back on him.
He went hard on him too. He's like, you know what? He's like, you're bitching about getting kicked in the balls when you racked this guy up on the top rope a couple of weeks ago, and we all know you lost your balls a long time ago, brah. And then Ambrose firing right back at him
on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast.
Yeah, he said maybe Stone Cold was right. And then Ambrose fired right back at him again. I'm like, okay, all right, this is great. I enjoyed that triple threat happening.
I like that feud. Maybe I like that feud going forward. Maybe a Dean Ambrose versus Cena feud.
Yeah, right?
You can give Cena something to do. If you guys want to keep him out of the title picture, put him against Dean Ambrose. How funny would it be to think that like we have all these guys, like we have Seth and Roman on the babyface side now. Seth's still like hovering, but eventually he's gonna fully turn babyface. And like, what if we never get all three members of the Shield kind of on the same page?
Right.
Like one of them's always kind of like different from the others.
Exactly.
And that would be good as far as like
good.
keeping that reunion question out.
Yeah.
And then when the reunion finally does happen, when it will,
it'll happen at some point.
It'll be that much.
It's
more,
out of left field.
It'll be that much more sweeter and more fun.
Yep.
I think. Or maybe they all just go heel again. I would prefer.
So good.
I would love a heel Shield,
especially with all of them established singles. Because before, when they were great we only knew them as a unit.
Yeah.
And now they all have their own personalities and everything, so it's great to have them back together.
I would
be
dig,
even stronger.
I would dig a heel Shield reunion. As
it's
opposed
crazy.
to a babyface one.
Right.
Because one, we're constantly just like, turn Roman heel. Turn him heel.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually the character of Roman Reigns, I think they're being a little bit more experimental with them right now. They'd be like, let him be frustrated with the fans. Let him be frustrated with what's going on. And just let's turn him. Let's let him turn on somebody. And then that's like the catalyst to kind of set it all off again.
So it's crazy because when we talk about the Shield, they were a stable. And then now, if they come back, they're like an all-star stable.
Yeah.
We have a winner.
We got a winner.
Of the CWC.
CWC just ended, or that match just ended. But TJ Perkins.
TJ Perkins is your new Cruiserweight champion. Amazing.
I can't wait to actually go home and watch that with the sound.
I know. Me
cool.
too. Look, all the guys are in the front row. This is so on Raw.
And
it's probably got to be what opens up Raw.
He's got the shit slapped out of him.
He did.
That's amazing.
He's in tears.
We got an amazing,
well deserved.
We got an amazing Kurt Hawkins promo.
Yes, we did. Kurt Hawkins scares clocks into ticking counterclockwise.
He was the one doing the fast.
Yeah, it was great. That shot of him bending over backwards, or bending over, like upside looking down. At you upside down. Oh, so good. So good.
SmackDown was the night of promos this week.
It really was, but they were solid promos.
They were solid promos. I didn't feel like it was a bad show. I still like SmackDown out of, looking at all the shows here. I think I liked Impact the most this week. As far as all the shows that I watched.
I think Raw was probably my favorite.
Backlash was really good, though. I like Backlash.
Because I remember watching Raw thinking that I thought Raw was better than Backlash.
Alexa Bliss is our number one contender.
I like it. I dig it.
I dig that.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Harley Quinn.
Because I was pretty put off when she went out number one.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed.
The six-pack challenge.
Yeah. Slater and Rhino made their first title defense against the Ascension.
Yes. Slater's shirt is amazing. I got kids. I need this job.
I need this job.
And then I loved him thanking all of his kids. I loved him after the match when they won at Backlash.
Yeah.
Screaming, "We're getting a double wide." So good.
I loved it. So originally it was booked AJ Styles versus James Ellsworth. The return of James Ellsworth.
Because AJ could not find a partner willing to team with him against Ambrose and Cena.
Shout out to James Ellsworth. We just followed him on Twitter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He got the skull-crushing finale and lost the other half of his chin.
Poor guy. Jim with no chin. I think that's what GBL called him. I think that's what GBL called him. Jim with no chin. It's horrible. So John Cena, Dean Ambrose win that match because The Miz comes out, takes the place of.
I was unhappy with the end of that match. I did not think we needed Cena and Ambrose to win that. With The Miz coming out and nailing the skull-crushing finale on the ramp and screaming at Daniel Bryan saying, "I main event this show." It should have had Miz getting the pin. and just showing him as even more of a badass. I just didn't like the booking.
I think it's funny that like Miz is holding the title hostage and where like Brian's the boss.
Contract negotiations. I mean, how did they not just say, "Okay, I'll strip you the title"?
I'll strip you the IC. Like we've had
Is that what happened on Raw?
We've had that come up so many times. Why not just say that?
Yeah, I'm kind of put
plot
off by
holes.
that.
People plot holes.
Yep.
But announced for announced with no mercy earlier in the show. John Cena versus against Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles, triple threat for the championship.
Dig it.
So
dig it.
Month away or however long we have to go, but I'm looking forward to that.
We have next weekend as a pay-per-view, right?
I think we got 2 more weeks actually.
Are you sure?
No, actually, no. You're right. Next weekend, not this weekend.
Not this weekend, but the following weekend on the 25th.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have Clash of Champions coming up.
That belt is so damn cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty rad belt.
We'll share pictures out of it.
Kudos to WWE for actually stepping up and doing something different as far as belt designs. NXT was all right this week.
It was okay.
I guess we're pushing. We're pushing Liv Morgan to be a women's title contender. I don't know how that happened or when that happened, but you dig your own grave, Liv Morgan. This is the episode where Samoa Joe beat down the crap out of Nakamura.
Yep.
Nakamura left out on a stretcher.
Yep.
Drew Gulak versus Hideo Itami.
That was a hell of a match.
Good match.
Heck of a match.
Fun. Drew Gulak, Gulak. I mean, he's an amazing talent anyway, part of the CWC. So just cool to see him and Hideo Itami go at it. And Bobby Roode, I wrote in here, Authors of Pain, kill some guys.
Kill some guys, yeah.
And then Bobby Roode defeated No Way Jose.
Bobby Roode, who came out with a spinning platform.
With the new, he has a new finisher.
Yeah.
The Impaler DDT.
Nice.
I
didn't get to see the finish of it.
DDT. But yeah, that was a good match. Yeah, that's what you had told me when I showed up here. Overall, decent show on NXT. I feel like we're in that process of, kind of like rebooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're in a, it's a segue.
Do you see,
basically.
a lot of these CWC guys just staying on NXT, kind of like going back and forth on Raw?
I think we've got to get a few to stay on NXT because now that people have been watching the CWC, it kind of brings in star power.
Yeah.
Because we all know their names now.
Yeah. Like I fully expect to see guys like Cedric Alexander and Zack Sabre Jr. bounce between
Raw and
between NXT and Raw and Raw because that's their show.
Yeah.
And I feel like too, are we signing these guys to full blown WWE contracts? Or are they going to be able to go in and out kind of like the WCW Cruiserweights did?
Right.
Where, they were brought in for about a month or two and then switch them out and,
Yeah, and you made the Cruiserweight champion.
We get El Dandy for 3 months and then you go back to Mexico and then come back 2 months later.
Well, the Cruiserweight Championship was like the worldwide championship for WCW. It was more of a world title than the world title actually was. Because you'd have guys that would come from New Japan, guys that would come from Mexico. Yeah. I mean, how many times did Ultimo Dragon come and go?
All the time.
I loved Ultimo Dragon.
Good guy.
Dragon Sleeper, man.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see where this leads to.
So thanks to my son, New Japan Wrestling has now been popping up on my DVR.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, I popped it up and New Japan's on.
I'm watching on Access.
Cool. I watched a match the other night with the Bullet Club against. I can't remember who else they were against, but it was a great match. And then Michael Elgin was in there as well. I mean, it's cool to watch some of these old matches for New Japan.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun to go through there and see what has transpired in New Japan.
So, on the network, they've got a hidden gems section. And if you go into that, all the way at the end, they've got 2 matches. One of them is Samoa Joe versus William Regal from 2000. That looks like it was recorded on a camcorder. And Samoa Joe was super thin. Holy crap. And then another one is from FCW, and it's Seth Rollins defending his FCW title against Chris Hero in a hell of a match. I watched that whole match, man.
Yeah.
I tell you, Rollins is the whole reason I knew that was on there. Rollins, actually, rumor this week, next week at the pay-per-view, Rollins will have a new theme.
Oh, why?
The band Downstate that did the entrance theme for Zack Ryder has been tweeting that they've been working on a new theme for Seth Rollins, and they apparently shared a portion of it, and it sounds very close to his theme now, just a remixed version. But because he's turning face, they want to switch his theme up a bit. Also, Rollins
This is
in
horrible stuff when you're gonna buy the video game and you can't update anything.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then the little things piss me off.
That should be something that they offer. I mean, if again, I've said this all the time, if Madden can put out new commentary like they are now, I mean, every week in Madden this week, they got 2 no-name guys on commentary.
And we're already
for
not
Madden.
going to get these belts.
No,
You know
we're
what I
going to
mean?
get them in creative.
Yeah.
Someone's going to create them.
But it's annoying that you have to do it yourself.
But if Madden,
To
like,
waste those spaces.
the commentary on Madden, they got 2 no-name guys who can sit down every week so they can update commentary as it goes. So now, this week, if you play Madden as the 49ers, they talk about the Colin Kaepernick issue. And they talk about him not standing for the national anthem.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
In Madden.
In Madden.
Oh my god.
Yep. But if you can put out roster updates and stuff like that, why can't 2K do the same thing? I'm sure they do it for the basketball games. Why can't we get it for the WWE games?
It's true.
That
is stupid. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry. I could care less.
It's dumb, but I
about
kind of think it's cool.
how Madden updates their... Like, I think it's cool what they do as far as, like, updating players' rankings. We saw the tweet from Madden about Terrence Williams' awareness.
from the Cowboys.
Like,
His awareness
going all
went
the way
down after he
down to
didn't
0.
run out of bounds.
But as far as, like...
I think the commentary's cool on certain occasions. Like, if it's an injury or something, they talk about
keep
that.
it
Like,
towards
that's kind of cool.
football. God.
Now, but you're I agree with you talking about stuff that may have happened
video
outside the
game.
field. That's dumb.
If we're going to do that, we might as well talk about all the domestic abuse issues that we have going on with NFL players. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about James Harrison, not being a role model, but, threatening to beat up people. Let's talk about, what was the guy on the Baltimore Ravens that beat the crap out of his girlfriend in an elevator?
Rice?
Yeah, let's talk about Ray Rice doing something
Did you catch
like that.
on the...
I don't want to go into, like, Stephen A. Smith mode, but
Did
come
you catch
on.
on the roast of Rob Lowe?
Yes.
The joke about concussions?
Yes.
So who has more concussions than an NFL player? Their wives.
Their wives.
Oh.
NFL players' wives.
I was going to bring
Yeah,
up
it's
before...
gonna get us into trouble on the
Right.
show, but who cares? I mean, seriously, like we're I can care less about. People are buying. I guess if you're kind of like spending $60 to buy that game, whatever.
I think it's cool that they're
You want it
updating
as
it
well.
weekly.
You want it.
It's just a weird way to update.
Yeah,
Um,
to update. I don't think that's necessary. So a pretty good overall week of wrestling. I thoroughly enjoyed what we got this week. I was not bored whatsoever. I don't think I even fell asleep during any of these shows.
I didn't.
And that's a first in a long time that I didn't do that. So, yeah, we got one question from Tom, other than Alex's question that was earlier in the show. We'll go into that right now. Tom asked, thoughts. I think instead of bringing the Cruiserweight division to SmackDown, which they won't get, they should do the Hardcore division or something to differentiate yourself from Raw as much as possible.
That would be great. We would just have to add more time to SmackDown. We'd have to end up with the 3-hour SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because as it stands now, there's already guys on SmackDown that don't get TV time.
That's the only problem with SmackDown is that you're 2 hours. So, the best of what you got for those 2 hours goes on TV. And I think that's where SmackDown kind of exceeds that.
Yeah.
That they're able to put on a little
They
bit
leave
of
you
a better...
wanting more.
Yeah, you're able to put on a better show. And, I just think I don't think we need an extra division because we already have so many other divisions going on right now in sort of like a shallow pool that it's kind of hard to like really say. We got Miz going out there, and I love what he's doing with the IC title.
Yeah,
Saying that it's prestigious because of him. He's held on to it for 161 plus days. I think that's the number going on. And
the never ending.
The never ending tour.
Miz undefeated tour.
So I dig that. I dig that part of it. So yeah. I don't know. Like I feel like we don't need an extra division
No,
now.
on SmackDown, I think we're
on
okay.
Raw,
If SmackDown was 3 hours, I'd say yes.
I really feel like we don't even need that division on Raw. I'm glad to see it come to Raw though, but because Raw is 3 hours, we feel like, hey, we should get everybody on this show, and we still don't. We get a lot of replay packages. We get a lot of
and that's my
promo
thing.
bits, and I hate that.
I'm okay with having them on Raw because we might get less replay packages, and we've got so many guys that show up in multiple segments.
Yeah.
That they are kind of stretching. So I'm okay with getting them on Raw. Because we're going to get more quality for our 3 hours, I hope.
Yeah. So before we wrap things up, a lot of up and down with Paige.
To bring up too. Yeah.
A lot of up and
bring
down
up
things with Paige. First, she left the company. I think it was reported the day after we did the show. And then just like nobody ever said anything about Paige until today. Paige actually wrote a message out, sent it on her Twitter. She's still with the company, and all the rumors about her being released or asking for her release or quitting, completely untrue. Paige stated, and she responded and reacted to her failed drug test. She said, "First of all, I'd like to thank all my fans for their love and support the last few weeks. Let me begin by saying that the rumors that I'm leaving the WWE are completely false!" Exclamation point. I certainly look forward to returning back to action at some point once my injury is treated and on a healthy return. Although I'm disappointed by my suspension, I respect the WWE's wellness policy. However, let me be clear that I was not suspended for failing a drug test. It was merely due to a procedural issue. I took the test, I passed it. I arranged said test to happen after I wasn't at my home with Aegis, which is the drug company, contacting me. So I drove 200 miles to do it. Unfortunately, I didn't do it in time according to them. Once again, thank you for all the love and support. So she's saying that she missed it due to time issues.
Yep.
I was going to bring this up earlier, but you got the story pulled up right now.
Yep.
Story on Seth Rollins' Black and Brave School.
Says several news reports are saying that a student died last Thursday at the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. The wrestling school is owned by WWE superstar Seth Rollins, also known as Kobe Lopez. The person who died is named Jonah Snyder, a 20-year-old student. According to the Rock Island County coroner located in Illinois, he was training with 8 other students when he felt sick. The student was instructed to sit down by a teacher, but he got worse as he was sitting and eventually went into cardiac arrest. He was pronounced dead later at the hospital. The police are still investigating Snyder's death, and as of right now, Seth Rollins has yet to issue a statement.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I
Yeah.
mean, whatever the situation, it's pretty unfortunate. I mean, for anybody involved, Seth Rollins, of course, has got to feel a weight on his shoulders. It's not like there's any blame or anything like that, but it's still one of your students.
You know, it happened while he probably wasn't even there.
Exactly. But it's still somebody he knew, somebody he trained, I'm sure.
Exactly. Guys, coming up in 2 months, Extra Life.
Extra Life.
Extra Life.
I meant to have a theme. A drop.
That's all right.
Our cool kind of 8-bit entrance theme like we had last time. I
Extra
will have
Life,
one for next week.
Which we've done. Jeremy has done the past 2 years. I did last year.
5. I'm on my 5th year
5,
now.
yeah.
5 time.
Do you have all the graphics on your avatar?
What do you mean?
Like when you have your Extra Life avatar, you have certain graphics on it, and it kind of changes with how many years you've done it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
so
that.
if you look at it, yours is probably like all decorated.
I just knew when I pulled it up, it just said 5th year.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. Congratulations on the 5th year anniversary with Extra Life.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's good. What is that, like the diamond year? I don't know.
I don't know.
But no,
Red
so
Bull
Extra
year.
Life, if you guys follow the show, follow the podcast, and even if you're listening from provengamer.com, you guys definitely know what Extra Life is.
Yep, and I am part of the Proven Gamer team this year.
Yeah, we both are.
Did you sign up?
I signed mine up.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we'll tweet that. No matter what we get, we'll all go to our
Children's
hospitals.
Miracle
Will be
Network.
Children's Miracle Network, which is the Children's Hospital of UNM up in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yep, absolutely.
But all our money is being tallied with the Proven Gamer Network.
So Matt and I will be playing. I will have WWE by then. I'm working on trying to get Matt a copy of WWE by then.
If that's not it, I mean, I would gladly, what is it called? Redbox it. That's what I did last year.
Your ass is getting it.
I redboxed a whole bunch of games last year.
I have this thing. I don't buy my friend. When my friends have a baby, I don't buy the baby stuff. I'll buy you a game. Because I know you're going to be home with the baby a lot. You're not going to get out and do anything. I'm going to get you a game to do something. So WWE's coming out.
Sweet.
It's probably going to be the game you get.
Sweet.
So
sweet.
I'm going to buy you something like Barbie's Horse Adventures. That's
Ooh, I'm down with that.
That used to be the running joke when I worked at
I'm
GameStop.
into-
It was always Lowrider the game and Barbie's Horse
I'm
Adventures.
into any kind of horse adventure Barbie may have.
Whoa. Whoa, you took that to a very dark place.
Yeah, very dark. So Extra Life, guys, check it out.
Yeah, we'll tweet everything out again. Extra-life.org.
You put some links out on the page already, haven't you?
I think I did.
We'll get that
on the
ready.
Facebook page. I did.
We'll make a drop and we'll get it shared.
It's extra-life.org. You can look for both of our names. You can look under the Proven Gamer and find our names. Look for the Lucha masks.
Lucha mask on Jeremy's. Mine's my sexy face. What's it called? Headshot.
Headshot.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I had a headshot.
Oh yeah, you had your headshot.
I did some work, guys.
In a back alley.
On that note, I think we're good, right?
We are good. We're
good.
golden.
I think we got everything
Stay
covered.
gold, pony boy.
On that note, remember, guys, you can send us your questions by following us on Twitter, like Tom did. You can send us on Twitter, on Facebook. Twitter, smart_marks. For more than we can follow us on Twitter as well. Follow Jeremy at jvader82. Follow me at Mateo83. Search for the Smart Marks fan page on Facebook and like it, please. Boost our numbers, guys. There you can interact with us and other fans of the show. Show us your favorite memes. Send us questions. Go crazy. Also look for us on Tumblr or Instagram. And if you don't use any above and avoid social media altogether, you email us your questions to smartmarksquestions@gmail.com. Again, that email smartmarksquestions@gmail.com.
Head on. Apply directly to the forehead.
And remember, you can stream, download, rate the show via iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and ProverGamer.com. Podcast Garden, no more.
No
All
more.
done.
It's
We're all
dead.
done with that.
It's dead.
Being a part of the Proven Gamer Network, also check them out on their shows. You can check out Remember the Loot and Trophy Whores.
Absolutely.
All fun video game talk. You guys like video games, don't you?
Of course. If you like wrestling, you probably like video
I think
games.
you kind of, if you like wrestling and podcasts, I have a good feeling you probably like video games.
So WWE has gotten a little bit better on their notifications from the app. They're coming in about 10 to 20
That's good.
minutes
I just turned mine off altogether.
I forgot. I had re-downloaded the app, so.
Thanks for tuning in and downloading peeps. Once again, I am Matt. He is Jeremy. We'll catch you guys next time on the Smart Marks. Peace out. Peace out. Too sweet. Too sweet.
Sweet it.
Camera move. Did you see that?
I saw that.